There's another example of a dying mall. It's completely empty. Take you upstairs and there's nothing up there. If you go downstairs, it's completely empty. Spring Festival travel has begun. Spring Festival is still about a little over a week away, but on the 13th everyone starts leaving, and in town there's a mixture of people shopping at the malls, well, some malls, not this mall, and you see a lot of young people with big bags and boxes and presents on the sides of the roads getting ready to leave. And I looked it up, and it's called, and I'm going to mispronounce this, I've tried it many times and everyone keeps correcting me, Chunyun. I think that's what it is. That's what they call the travel for Spring Festival, and it's giant. Now, last year during Spring Festival, I went to Zhuhai, which was kind of empty at the time. Now behind me is one of the many bus stations here at Shaolan. There's another one across the street, a bigger one, and they're just packed with people. A lot of factory workers getting ready to go home, packing up their gifts. You see them all over town. It's not uncommon this time of year to see many of the factories closed down, and the factory workers will start doing their shopping, hanging out in the coffee shops, and getting ready to go home. This happens for a complete month. The season starts January 13th and it goes all the way until Valentine's Day. Now, if the factories aren't closed, they seem to be instead ramping up production, doing triple shifts, just so that they can make their deadlines and make their quotas before the end of the year. And that's also contributing to the major pollution this time of year in the wintertime. So here in China, they don't actually call it Chinese New Year. It's known as the Spring Festival. The bus stations are all packed, as I said. Also the train stations, they're going to be like that. Now in Zhuhai, it was kind of empty. However, all the tourist attractions in Zhuhai were completely solidly booked. I went to the Chimelong Ocean Park last year, which is like a giant aquarium. It's actually the world's largest aquarium. They've got whale sharks in there and everything. And it was packed with people. In fact, I spent about 5 hours there, and the crowds got so bad that I just left because it was just too much for me. So how big is the Spring Festival? Well, I did some research online, and I didn't realize just how giant it is. It's the largest migration of animals in the world, and every year it gets bigger. It's all the people from the cities going back to their hometowns all over China to visit family. Well, this year is the year of the rooster, year of the cock. Let the parodies begin. There will be 2.5 billion trips this year. That's insane. 356 million by rail alone. During this time, the Chinese people will spend close to $100 billion on travel and gifts and dinner and food. That's insane. That's more than twice as much as Americans spend on Thanksgiving every year. If you try to travel this time of year, good luck. I remember the lines at the train station just trying to get a ticket to go from here to Zhuhai, which is just the next town over. It was nearly impossible. It took hours just waiting in line. 1,000 train tickets per minute are sold. That's insane. If you take that number of 2.5 billion trips during this time by the Chinese people, and you times that by the average kilometers, each trip, it's somewhere around 450 or 500 kilometers is the average trip. That's enough to go from here to the sun and back 4 times. That's 8 lengths. Or to go from here to Saturn. That's per year. Now, if you're a wealthy Chinese, you leave the country, and that's kind of the new thing. You know, you get a week, 2 weeks off. You're gonna go travel to Japan or Korea or Thailand. That seems to be the biggest places people go. I'm gonna be amongst those crowds this year. On the 27th, which is Spring Festival Eve, which is the the night where everyone gets together for their dinner. I'm actually going to try and travel during that time. It's like traveling on Thanksgiving in America, only you can imagine with the numbers here how much more crazy that's going to be. And I'm going to have to fly out of Guangzhou airport to my destination where I'm going to be for a week. And where I'm going to Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. The hotel prices have skyrocketed because of all the traveling Chinese people that are going on vacation. Couple of other interesting facts about the Chinese New Year that I've learned this year and also last year is it's very much tons of superstition. The decorations are very similar to, there's a lot of parallels to Christmas decorations and the Christmas shopping season in the West. But apparently what you're supposed to do, everything here is about luck. It's like red underwear, right? If it's your year, if it's the year of the rooster, if you were born in the year of the rooster, you have to wear red underwear. It's considered lucky and prosperous. In addition, there's a legend of a monster. It's a I think it's half lion, half dragon. And the legend is that every year during this time, that monster comes out and eats children. But it has some weaknesses. The weaknesses are it's afraid of red, so wearing the red underwear will protect you. It also got sensitive ears, so that's why everyone from the next month on is lighting off firecrackers and fireworks, making these loud noises to scare away the monster. There's another very interesting thing. They have a Chinese character that they hang over all the doors here, and it's Fu. Fu means luck, but if you hang it upside down, it means Dao. And, excuse me, Dao with the fourth tone. I'm working on my Chinese. And that, if you hang it upside down above your door, it means it's the arrival of luck. It's kind of an interesting little tradition. Now, in America, we've got, what, 350 million people? Maybe. I'm guessing, I actually don't know, 300 million. But they did it, and they realized that the amount of trips that people take during the Spring Festival is equal to the entire population of both Americas, Africa, and Europe. Wow. So before the Spring Festival starts, there are couple other rules you have to do. First, you have to clean your house. Remember, spring cleaning, right? But they take it very seriously here. So everyone right now is cleaning and scrubbing their house and throwing out old stuff. Because on the first day of the Spring Festival, you're not supposed to clean. You're not supposed to take a shower. You're not supposed to take out the trash. Doing so is kind of like taking out the luck, taking out the prosperity for the whole year. So there's another superstition that people actually follow here. So right now everybody is cleaning their apartments and cleaning their houses. The stores are packed with, brooms and mops and everything, selling those. Even I'm cleaning mine, mostly just because it's dirty. Now, it's very well known here that women are pressured to get married before they're 27 years old. And if they go to the city and they come home for Spring Festival and they don't have a boyfriend or a husband or a fiance, that their family really gives them a lot of shit, and it's very common for the women here to feel a lot of pressure from their family this time of year to get married and start their families. And sure enough, this is true. You can look it up on Taobao. Women can actually rent a boyfriend for the Spring Festival. Now, depending on how tall, how handsome, and how rich they are and how well educated, they can go from anywhere from $50 a day all the way up to $500 a day. And if you look at it, there's like a package. You can buy a package. You rent your boyfriend, comes home with you. You get hugs, you get holding hands, you even get a goodbye kiss on the cheek. If you go to a dinner, it costs extra per hour. If you go to a movie, it costs a couple extra per hour. I started, why don't I do that? I'm in the wrong business. So yeah, Spring Festival is kind of like New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving all rolled into one, multiplied by 5. It really is incredible. I can tell you all the numbers, I can tell you all about it, but until you see it for yourself, there's really no way for me to express how incredible it really is.